they said, we want you to be a horseman.
Right.
We want you to announce that you want to be a part of the elite group that I didn't know it was the elite group of wrestling, and I had no idea it was that big a deal. But I did what they told me to do, So that was I just went out there and did what I was told to do,
At that time,
like I always have. I've never questioned a finish. I've never, despite rumors, I always just done my job, It's not a shoot,
Right.
You're paid to do what they tell you to do, I always thought it was unprofessional otherwise. You get big head and say, oh, I can't do that. Well, why can't you? I thought, do favors for you. Why can't you do, or, return the favor?
Right.
I never had a problem doing jobs or, I always thought that's just part, it's give and take,
Because of your size and stature, did WWF give you any feelers like early on, like even like as you were going?
I met Vince McMahon in Las Vegas at a gym one time, and he just was real cordial, like he always is. He's a great schmoozer, and in a bad way.
Right.
He's very, very personable, and came up to the gym and came up to me. He's a big deal. Who am I? And shook my hand, said, I'm watching you and love to do business someday in the future. And, that was my first contact with them, was with him in a gym.
Right.
But no business was talked about, like, oh, we're going to bring you in. Or
Right.
Like that. It was just generalities.
Right. Introduction.
Yeah.
Now, when you first came in NWA, your first major feud, I guess, would be with Nikita Koloff. I think that was your first big feud, right?
Yeah, that was probably big first singles feud.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
What was Nikita like to work with?
Nikita's a good guy. He's a little different kind of guy.
In like what aspect?
Just he had gotten into this some kind of Amway thing or something when I had met him. I guess he lost a lot of weight, so everybody said he was real different. So he real changed and this and all those like PMA, positive mental attitude tapes and stuff. So it was a little different for me. I don't mean in a bad way either. There's Dr. Phil's and everybody makes a lot of money off that. So nothing wrong with that stuff.
Right.
And Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel obviously have arenas from up in Michigan off Amway and stuff. So, but it was a little different for me. But as far as working with him in the ring or talking about outside of the ring, we didn't have any problem with each other at all. We got along fine.
Your match is pretty good?
As far as I know.
Right.
Right.
Do you think that Dusty put himself with you at Starrcade to help him get himself over at your expense?
I just don't look at the wrestling business that way.
Right.
He was the booker. He was the main guy in the company, Crockett's main guy, and if he wants to beat me in Starrcade, and that's his choice, and then I had no problem with it. I always think if you have a little bit of talent, you can overcome that.
Right.
If it is a detriment, at all,
You have a very good rep for being a very smart businessman, even back then at the time. Was there any tension between you and management due to you being a really good businessman?
There might have been some tension as far as I was like the original contract guy,
Right.
because it was kind of like, I came from football and, you kind of had some kind of at least base guarantee what you're going to make. And the wrestling was so arbitrary. I kind of maybe rubbed them the wrong way that way a little bit,
Somebody was telling me that.
But it's a good thing that I got what I did because, I really was the first. I don't mean to just put myself over at all. To take it the wrong way. I was the first guy to get a large guarantee. Guys had minimum guarantees like $75,000 or something, but if they had hurt or something, they could pay their bills. But I was the first guy to really get a guaranteed contract, and now it's
Right, everyone's.
It's a regular thing in the business. So,
Did that ruffle?
and I'm not taking that as I'm so smart or I'm such a good businessman. I just thought it was the right thing, you know.
Did that ruffle some feathers of peers of yours at all, or?
Some of the guys, when they found out I had a pretty good baseline guarantee, I think it ruffled the feathers a little bit. But once again, like I said, I can't do anything about that.
Right.
I mean, you know, my point to them was, if they offered you money, would you turn it down?
Right.
Right.
I mean, give me a break, you know. You're mad at me because I took a large guaranteed contract at that time.
Right.
Would be large now, but at the time, and you're mad at me, and it's actually a precursor for them that help lead them to get guarantees. So I mean, it was really a good situation, you know.
Somebody was telling me that when you guys would go to house shows, you were able in your head to calculate how many fans were in the house, and you would be like, "Oh, this is what they made," before even like the management would know.
No, that part of it. I'm not near that smart. I had no idea about that, about ticket prices and
Right.
how many heads or how many fatties were in seats, how much they made, and
Not merchandise money. They just said that you were pretty good at figuring out the house from just looking out the curtain. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
When was the first time you were actually told that you were going to be next in line for the NWA World Title?
You know, they don't really. I never said I wasn't one of the guys or one of the wrestlers who said on booking meetings ever.
Right.
You know, so I wasn't privy to that kind of talk. So it was kind of like, you know, they just say you're going over tonight, you know, or you're not.
Right.
You know, I never was really in on like a build up phase, and we're planning on doing this with you and this and that. I just pretty much
Showed up and did what you had to do.
showed up to work and worked as hard as I could, and did you know, what they told me to do, you know.
Did titles even matter to you, or was it purely just business?
I think it matters. I mean, you know, I think it's earns you some respect from the fans and stuff like that, and it gives you a little more legitimacy with the crowd and stuff. So yeah, titles matter. It wasn't just business, you know. I mean, it's legitimately fun when you have a title match and you win. I'd be a liar to say, you know, it's not fun. You win a big title match, you know.
Right.
That'd be a lie, you know. Yeah, it's fun, you know, and it does mean something. Because I was brought up with, I said with Hiro Matsuda, tradition of the business. If you win a world title, that's a big deal, you know, respect wise, you
Plus, it's
know.
more money.
No, it's not even the money thing. That's a big deal, you
Right.
know. And how many guys can say they're world champions? You know, there's it's not a really long list. So it's a real feather in your cap. So yeah, it does. It's not just dollars and cents to me. You know, it never was. You know, titles and stuff definitely meant something, and were you know, I appreciate it if I had a belt or something, because I shouldn't win it. You know, they put it on you, so it's kind of a respect and honor thing. You know,
Right.
you try to carry it the best you could. You know.